No, I think I'm really lucky.
I really like your vision, though, of the literature goes in lots of places. It goes with musicians. You can put it in a graphic novel.
Oh
You
yeah.
can put it on CD. You can
Yep.
speak it. You can.
Well, that's why I can make a living, because I'm not stuck in a box of this is what I do and this is how you're supposed to do it. Like, you're not supposed to actually be able to make a living doing what I do. But, if you, I mean, that's the great thing about being an artist is, you have to be so creative and you have to be a business person too. And I'm actually getting smarter at the business. I wish if I had to do things over, I'd probably try to get smarter at the business earlier, right? Because now I'm a pretty savvy business person too, which holds me, because I have to be. I'm not like, I am a commodity that I'm marketing. I'm selling myself. Mm-hmm. That's a weird thing, but that's what you do as an artist in a lot of ways, especially as somebody who's like, I make CDs and books, but I can't sell a painting. You can't sell a story, but I guess you are sort of selling. I guess I'm sort of selling maybe I'm not a storyteller. Maybe I'm a story seller.
Selling something anyway. That must be a hard part, though, in a way. You have to sort of carve off different areas. One of which is where you're creating and finding and looking and what are you going to say next, and the other is, well, how am I going to eat and who's going to buy this, and
when you get to those points where it's like, well, this is what I want to do creatively, but this is what I know is going to pay the bills, right? I'm lucky though, because I've been able to find a balance. If I work hard enough, I can be challenged by what I'm doing and feel good, like I'm progressing and growing as an artist and incorporating new things into my work and feeling like I'm not just trotting out the same old shtick. And still I'm not starving, and I'm doing okay. And
you still give a really strong sense that you like everything that you're doing. I don't know if that's
oh yeah,
true,
well, if you don't, then you're doing your audience a disservice, right? I don't have a lot of tolerance for artists who are like, oh, yeah, piss, moan. If that's, I mean, everybody has those days, but if that's your predominant vibe about your job, then you should really seek other employment, because it's lucky that you get to be an artist. It's not that it's luck, you have to work really hard, but it's a fortunate existence, and I'm well aware of that, And I don't have like a huge RSP or whatever. I'm not going to inherit a bunch of money, but I don't know. I feel like I've put something good out there, and I get by. I get by, but how do you quantify really loving what you do for your job? What is that worth? How many guys do I know who make 4, 5, 6 times as much money as me, but they would love to have my life, right? So you can't forget that. You have to, and I don't know. There's something, like, not to sound like a West Coaster, because Lord knows I'm a redneck from the Yukon, but there's something spiritual about the exchange of when it's all going right, and it's a really great thing to be able to, make your living from doing something that actually might make the world better, or help people understand themselves, or make them laugh.
I've seen that happen with you too, where you get an audience that's hanging on what's going to happen next, and you get to play with that kind of timing. It's really an exciting thing to do.
Yeah, and I never feel like I have learned everything there is about this. Like, people say, what do you do? Like my grandma, you get paid to talk? Like, where do I sign up for that? But there's just always something that you learn. And I've never done a show where I haven't learned something valuable that I can apply to the next time, even if it's the same piece over and over again, which I try never to do anyways. But there's just always something you learn about every single time, and then when you start incorporating working with other artists and other mediums and doing stuff, like if you do any visual material or you're having musicians, there's just so many ways you can go, right? And it just never gets boring, because you all know for some reason it can crash too. You can crash and burn, I mean, it happens a lot less as you get more and more of a pro and you learn how to deal with things. And if it does crash and burn, you can just ad-lib your way through it, or you have that confidence.
That's one thing I was going to ask. What's the worst audience you ever had?
Worst audience I ever had? Oh, that had to have been fucking Glenn Alteen at the Grant Gallery. God bless him, God love him, but he booked some show and he put me on at like midnight on like $2 martini night, and these drag queens were really drunk, and the whole time I was reading, they were just screaming, "Get off the stage!" Rage! Turn on the music! And I just, like, for 5 minutes, I just gave up finally. I think I wrapped it up and like, yeah, and I summed it up and I sort of I just sort of like paraphrased my own piece, you know, just to wrap it up real quickly without looking like I'd actually just dropped it mid-sentence. Yeah, like, all teen, I will have words with you tomorrow, sir. Yeah. That was my worst audience, I think. I don't know, you know. Sometimes you can have a great audience and there's just that one freak at the back or something, you know, but I don't know, that's kind of just a challenge too, right? And sometimes it's just a drag. Bar gigs are hard.
Do your stories change depending on what's happening?
Oh, yeah, you have to. I mean, again, that's part of the whole interaction. Like, if you can't read your audience, I've lots of times had a whole idea what I'm going to do, walked in and took a look at the room and gone, no way. No, it's not going to fly. Or listen to what's going on earlier on and go, oh man, this would be perfect if I did this. It'd make the whole show better. Like, it would be a nice counterpoint, or there'd be two sides of a discussion, or for whatever reason, those two pieces would work together to play off each other nicely. Or this guy's bailing all night and boring the crap out of this poor audience. I better pick it up and make them, like, cheer them up. I was going to do a heavier piece, but you know, they're all like half comatose after Soap Before Exam off there was on for 45 minutes on his 11-minute set or whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
I sure do.
Yeah, and so like I could pick up the pace here a little bit, you know. Obviously we got to bring this crowd back around. Wake up everybody. So he changed it around that way. Yeah. And then, you know, it changes it. Everything changes. It can change. You can do the same show with the same lineup and the same people, and you'll just get in the same venue, and you'll get a totally different vibe one night. And just reading all that stuff and figuring out what's going to be the best thing, you know. And some of those decisions are like they're not even conscious, really. You just know. You just get a sense. You just get a performer timing or how things are going to work, and I like it. It's good.
Yeah.
I never get bored. I've always liked that though, because I have a great fantasy life, so. Whenever it's boring outside, I just go to Ivanland where it's totally cool all the time. But I really don't ever get bored with my job. So how many people can actually say that, like, and fully mean it? Yeah. I think I'm pretty lucky.
That's a great thing.
Yeah.
You're playing with this amazing ring, I noticed.
I know, it's terrible because I'm a bit like, I like numbers too. And so then I've got this ring and it has the alphabet, 4 different rings, and you can spell things and you can twirl it. So, you know, sometimes I go, oh, look, it's almost writing funk. I have to.
And where's that from?
I won the Relit Award.
Ah, okay, that's the Relit Award.
That's the Relit Award.
Okay.
Yeah, they give you a ring, way better than a plaque. It's fancy. And it has 4 different rings that are all have the alphabet stamped on them. And you can spell stuff. See, I get distracted. I can't look at it.
And you won that for
a bow grip for the novel.
For the novel.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Everybody told me, you know, quit writing short stories, there's no money in it. And I just had to write 4 collections just to make sure there was no money in it. And they were right.
So are novels better, or do you know yet? Yeah, you don't know.
Well, it's sold out in 3 months.
Oh, that's great.
A second edition. I bought, that's how come I got a nice truck, was directly as a result of that novel. Yeah, so partly novel, and you know, I guess just partly a 5th book or whatever, you just get a little bit more momentum picked up or whatever. So yeah, but definitely I should have listened to that piece of advice a lot sooner. I mean, all the poets I know could have told me that.
Well, we never expect to make any money anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, see, we have to break that mentality, my friend.
Anyway, great talking to you. Nice to have you here. We'll look forward to your performance.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.